Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing a speed build office build challenge. Is it a challenge? It's just a speed build of an office. To start off, I just want to go through, we did purchase the entire plot of land that our initial square was put on, and then we also bought this parking lot which is right next to it. So without further ado, let the speed build begin. Hello everybody and welcome to the future. This is future me going back and recording over this content. So my initial thought was to have just one giant building where everybody can be stored and have kind of like a skyscraper that's very similar to the current layout of how the cities are created in this game. And I thought it could be fun to just have one massive entire building. We're adding, sidewalks everywhere so people don't necessarily cut through the grass, which you know is my pet peeve. And then I'm also going through here and trying to get the rooms pretty even in size, even though the whole length is not good for splitting into threes. So I decided, I was kind of thinking here like 2 office buildings, 4 office rooms per floor, and then like a meeting room and a cafeteria on each floor. But the more I was looking at it, it just seemed like there was a lot of wasted space. So I decided to go ahead and scrap that idea and go for an idea that's more condensed and more realistic of what an actual city block looks like. So I was thinking, lots of different buildings in one city block, and even though they're all owned by the same company, they are going to be a little bit each team is going to have their own kind of building for that. So the first build that I did is from Tokyo. It's pre-built on the Steam website. The Steam community page is where I found it. And then I am going to go ahead and create our R&D building from scratch. This is something very, very similar to what we did previously. I am not very creative when it comes to building, even when it comes to The Sims or anything like that. So I like things to be simple, easy to duplicate and replicate, and to make things, not overly complicated, because my brain just doesn't think like that, honestly. So here I'm creating my hack to fixing that notification that you sometimes get where they say there's not enough bathrooms. And by doing that, I just create individual toilet stalls, which is the idea I got from this Tokyo build, which was that first building that I had, and then having the actual sinks out in the lobby area, so that way people aren't clogging up the restrooms while they're washing their hands. It just helps the AI get people through the bathrooms quicker. Here I'm deciding to push everything back because I accidentally did not build the rooms equally, which is frustrating to me. I like them to be all symmetrical so I can copy the office layouts from one floor to the next. So I went ahead and just shifted everything back so that way I could just copy everything like that. And of course that means I have to redraw my original walls back to how it's supposed to be and kind of shift around the windows. So like I said previously, this building is gonna be our R&D department. So all of our 2D research, all of that stuff to get patents and everything ready to go is going to be in this building. So I also wanted to create a separate office space for our team leads, so they, have their own space in case that's something that they require. We don't have to think about it and try to squish it in or change around the team member sizes to make room for their own office. I'm starting off this with a very plain kind of layout. We got some light purple walls, white and black as the color structure. For me, that just seems very medical, very scientific, if you will, to keep things pretty neutral in the color palette. But we will see pops of color later on with the different buildings and the different teams, because not everybody is going to be part of the R&D team, obviously. Now we're going to switch over to our building that's going to hold our support team and eventually our marketing team. So this half is going to be our support team. They're going to be green, so I got the chairs to match the desks, and we're just putting in a few computers and everything, nothing too bad. Here I'm adding the air conditioning unit because this building comes with a heater, does not come with an air conditioner. We're going to have a very small SCM server room in that kind of back pocket of that room. And then this is going to be where our core team is going to be located. So for them, I wanted them to have lots of space, and then I remembered that our lead designer actually needed her own office space. So I'm just building that here in the center of the room with some nice big windows. Of course, they get the penthouse suite because they deserve it. I'm also going to create a meeting room so that way they can have their socialization boosted, and then I'm just assigning rooms to everybody and getting the air conditioning worked out. Okay, so I'm sure you saw a little bit of a preview about what exactly is happening here. So basically what we have is hopefully self-explanatory. This is a build that I got off of the Steam Workshop. It's under like Tokyo. And then this is going to be our R&D building, pretty much what we had set up last time. This plot of land is smaller than the one that we had previously, but you know, that's okay. So my idea is to keep this as our support building. And then we have our core team up here where they have their own offices. And then down here is going to be where we start doing our other teams, like our port teams, our update teams, and then all of our research and development teams. I have not fully stocked this yet just because, you know, I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. I did spend like over $1 million fixing that. So we're going to hire a cook, a cleaner, hire IT, hire maintenance, and then hire receptionist and hire our courier. That's the one thing I didn't build. And we're jumping back into a speed build kind of portion. This one's obviously slowed down a little bit, but I didn't want to make our distribution too complicated. Obviously, we can spread out into the basement area, not a problem. So I just created a small little garage because at this point, you know, I'm not really looking to pick up contract deals when it comes to printing. As long as we can get our own products being printed, then we're obviously going to save 11% of our profits. I'm not sure if that necessarily equals out to the running costs of having a printer up and running, but you know, worst case scenario, if we do start losing money, we can absolutely get this to print some smaller print jobs. So one thing that drives me crazy when it comes to our couriers and delivery people is when they're waiting to fill up their trucks, they usually wait in the waiting room instead of necessarily where they should be, which is, in my opinion, where they pick up the delivery. That's going to save them time walking back and forth and all that jazz. So I decided to put a couch in there for our couriers to wait if their trucks aren't necessarily full right away. Like I said, we're keeping this simple, so we're just going to throw in a couple printers and not even necessarily have a spot for the excess to run over onto. I think I decide to change my mind on this later on because overnight, you know, we're going to be printing stuff and we don't want the printers to stop because there's not enough storage space between the courier's arrival and departure. Yeah, that's when I decide to do that here. So I'm gonna go ahead and push everything back a little bit with the walls. So there is that space for the extra like pallet to wait. I do have to delete that end piece just in case they need to walk around to that pallet. I'm not really sure what the pathing is. I feel like it changes. Well, it doesn't change, it's just never paid attention to it, I guess, to kind of figure that out. So yeah, I'm just adding that in, and that's going to be our distribution center set up. Very small, very basic, but that is exactly what we need for this stage in the game. Okay, so we went ahead, we finished up the building. This is going to be our IT maintenance kind of team, and this is going to be for our R&D eventually. This is where we're going to put our port team for now. And then this is our little tiny printing building. This plot of land is a lot smaller than the one that we had previously, but basically we're going to have our core up here. I probably actually need to go ahead and build another one of these, huh? I'm going to have my 4 team members here. Let's put that for right now there. Move this one over. Duplicate this there, and then move this one here. Okay, so our core is going to be here, which means that we are going to go ahead and start separating out our teams since nobody is coming into work today. So, manage teams. We need to create a new team, which is going to be our support team. Okay, we're going to add them We're gonna go into our core, we're going to go to employees, and this employee is going to change roles, or change team onto our support team. So we're gonna keep our teams relatively small here at first. So for our support, we have 7 available. So let's go back to our team. So our HR management, we are going to have all of this set up. And let's go ahead and get them a great leader for that. Okay, I have to go in and fix that. But first, let's finish this up. They're better at marketing. We could get a marketing team up and going. But for now, let's go ahead and hire them to be the support team lead. Go to employees here. Yeah, this guy changes role. He's going to be the leader. Change roles, leader, and then you guys can be programmers second. He is gonna go ahead and fill that up. Let's go ahead and make this switch team to support with a pass through. Okay. This room, let's go ahead and build ourselves some ventilation, hopefully. Let's go here to office. I know you can do like the air vents, but personally I like to do that. And then I think we might need one for our server room too. So yeah, it looks like we don't have anything in there for heat in there either. Okay, so now all of those are getting cooled off nice and chilly. We have our core team situated up here, which should just be our original founders. We have a meeting room set up. We have our support team set up, and this is going to be for our port team. Let's skip forward. It's gonna drop a bunch of money on us. Yeah, hey, I mean, you know, not too shabby. So let's go ahead and I think we'll just go ahead and leave this part here. Thank you so much for joining me on this Let's Play series. I am glad that you guys are enjoying it. As always, there is a link to my other social media, including my TikTok, my sticker shop, and my Patreon, linked below in the description. My Patreon is $3 a month. It gets your name at the end credits of my video. If you have other suggestions for other tier rewards, I am open ears. And finally, if you'd like to support me in other ways, liking, commenting, and sharing this video is great for the algorithm, and it gets it in front of more people's faces, which of course helps me build my channel. So I appreciate all the support you guys have given me, and until I see you again, have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.